Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Don't forget, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our official website, thestephennightshow.com, or you can watch us on our YouTube channel. Lynia, where can they follow your Instagram?
I am at Lynia Love, LYNIALOVE.
And Chike, where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at The Real Absolutely Chike and Twitter Absolutely Chike. And Google me, Chike Evans. I'm everywhere.
Right. And I'm Stephen Knight 32. All right. So after 13 years of not speaking, Lee Daniels and Monique made up on stage in Staten Island on Friday. The pair took stage and Lee Daniels took time to publicly apologize to Monique. But the good news doesn't end there. According to Deadline, Monique and Lee Daniels not only ended their precious feud, but they will work together on a Netflix thriller, Demon House. Monique last worked with Lee on the 2009 film Precious, where she earned the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. She is set to replace Octavia Spencer in the role of a social worker who helps a family through a series of exorcisms after Octavia had to drop out due to a schedule conflict. You may remember back in 2019 when Monique alleged that Oprah, Lee Daniels were the reasons why she was blackballed from the industry. Monique claimed that it was due to her lack of participation in the award season promotion of the film, something that Mo said was not in her contract. Lee Daniels, Oprah, and Tyler Perry have always denied blackballing her, but it's worth mentioning that we haven't seen Monique star in any major TV or film project since. Mo also stated that Tyler Perry didn't support her publicly, even though she alleged that he told her in private that she wasn't wrong. Now, Demon House follows multiple exorcisms that plague Latoya Ammons and her 3 children in Gary, Indiana around 2011. Monique is set to join the cast of Audra Day, Glenn Close, Rob Morgan, Caleb McLaughlin, and Anjani Ellis, So it sounds like a great cast. Lynia, is it Mo's time?
It's always been her time.
Yeah.
And she's been patient. She's stood in her belief.
Mm-hmm.
She's been resolute in everything that she says. She's just been, she ain't been going crazy. She's just been going about her life, but she's stood her ground. I love Monique, and I enjoy seeing her on Instagram. I would definitely love to work with her someday, because I feel like she's amazing, and she should have done way more after that Oscar win than what she has. And even the few things that she did do, they were hysterical, because she did, the Christmas movie and stuff like that. So, it's definitely her time. And you know how they say timing is everything, because I know with Octavia, she's working on that Hulu series, whatever. I think it's Hulu.
Yeah.
So, that, just so happened, it worked out like that. But I saw a comment on Instagram and somebody said, what in the hell does 50 Cent have on Lee Daniels or Tyler Perry that this is now happening? Because of course 50 Cent started hating. He's like, why is she not working? I want to work with her. Like Tyler, y'all, he called out Tyler Perry and Oprah and Lee Daniels, and now we got this whole situation. I'm like, what 50 Cent, what you got on these people? What you doing? Can I get on BFM?
Right.
I don't even watch it. I'm sorry, but can I get on?
Right. But he also had posted that Tyler Perry called him and said that he's not mad at Mo and all that, you know what I mean? So he does have something on him.
He got something. They scared of 50.
Yes. Chike, what are your thoughts on this reunion?
I need you, you need me. Let's get together and get this money. That's what I think about it. Nobody's been working. Lee Daniels doesn't really have any contracts anymore with any major networks, except his new Netflix situation. And it's funny how everybody talks about Netflix. Monique left talking about Netflix to only wind up back on Netflix. You see what I'm saying? If you would about Netflix, negative toward Netflix, you wouldn't be going back. There's a need happening here. People need to work.
And they're still in litigation.
They need thriller. So,
yeah, they still in litigation too. So I'm listen. I wonder how that money looking. I mean, it's not her by herself.
Right.
So that bag is going to be different.
Yeah.
But I wonder how you juggle that when you're in litigation.
I'm
But
sure it makes a difference. It makes a
yeah,
difference. Come.
that bargaining chip is whew, it's like with gold right now.
But you see, Oprah didn't say nothing to nobody about nothing.
No.
No.
She
And I
don't need
doubt
no.
she will.
She don't need nobody.
Yeah. But Tyler Perry's last movie was on Netflix too. Medea, the Medea Homecoming. So yeah, it's interesting. But I'm happy for Mo. She definitely deserves it. I mean,
Yes.
I've been watching the Parkers on Netflix lately. You know, she's just a talent. And I didn't realize one day I was going through Amazon Prime and she had a comedy special from I think 2020 that's up there. That was funny, where she was introducing new comics and whatnot.
Yep.
All right, well, just when it seems Will Smith, Chris Rock drama was dying down, a new report continues to keep all eyes on Will. According to Deadline, the Oscar-winning actor has resigned from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Will made a lengthy statement addressing his departure, stating that he was heartbroken. He said, "I've directly responded to the Academy's disciplinary hearing notice, and I will fully accept any and all consequences of for my conduct. My actions at the 94th Academy Awards presentation were shocking, painful, and inexcusable." Will wrote, "The list of those that I hurt is long, includes Chris, his family, and many more dear friends and loved ones, all of those in attendance, the global audience at home." He said, "I betrayed the trust of the Academy. I deprived other nominees and winners of their opportunity to celebrate and be celebrated for their extraordinary work. I'm heartbroken. I want to put the focus back on those who deserve attention for their achievements and allow the Academy to get back to its incredible work it does to support creativity and artistry in film. So I am resigning from my membership at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, and I will accept any further consequences the board deems appropriate." Will vowed that he committed to doing the work to ensure that he never allows another violent incident to occur. The statement comes just 2 days after the Academy's Board of Governors announced that they initiated a disciplinary proceedings against Will. As reported, the Academy states that Philadelphia native violated the group's standards of conduct, and they have an updated board meeting scheduled April 18th. Chike, what do you think of this resignation, and is this enough?
I don't think it's enough, and I'm sorry I'm going here with this, but I don't see enough people being punished for the wrong that they're doing. And some will argue the fact that this is a Black man, and we've seen Black men stepping outside of what color you are. You can't just go around popping people and thinking that is cool. And how this country makes maneuvers, it's around money. And so I'm thinking maybe he should be fined heavily, dig him in his pocket.
Jim Carrey said that he did an interview shortly after the incident. He said that if he were Chris, he would have sued him $200 million. You know, and he was very upset about it. And he didn't go on, he was on CBS Mornings. He didn't go in there to talk about that. He wanted promoting something else, and they asked him about it. But he was saying how hard people work to get to that level, to get to the Academy Awards, and for it to be, you know, the headline was Will Smith, you know, slapping Chris. Lynia, what do you think? I'm sorry.
Will would say that the slap was for principle, right? Like, that was the principle. You made a statement.
Yeah.
So the Academy needs to make a statement and slap Will in his pocket.
Yeah. Lynia, what do you think?
Since I've never heard of like this type of situation before, I know that at one point in time, John Wayne acted a fool, but I seriously doubt that they did anything to him during that time. Because he acted a fool with the young lady, the Native American, who refused to accept the award, and you know, she was bold, and he really went after, like he tried to go after her. It was a woman, but he tried to go after her. So, you know, and that was eons ago. I don't know, you know, what the protocol was back then.
Right.
So I've never, you know, this is the first time. I don't know if any of you have ever, you know, there's been a situation of this magnitude. So I'm not sure, but and then the whole resigning thing. So of course, I know nothing about that, and I should, I guess, because I'm an actor.
Right.
Didn't know that you had to sign up. Didn't know, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I didn't know either.
but I'm like, I somewhat feel like the resignation was to kind of let me get as far ahead of this as I can now, and hopefully they won't, you can sanction me, but you won't take my Oscar away. At least let me still keep my Oscar. And according to everyone, he earned it in regards to his performance.
Yeah.
But let me resign, try to save face so I can keep this, and y'all can sanction me because I got the loot to pay for whatever their sanction is, or whatever that they do. I would love to know, like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What are your consequences in regards to this? Because I mentioned this last night to Chike. Now you have these comedians are going crazy.
Yes.
Whether they are towing the line, but Bill Maher went way, and Corey Holcomb, woo, you talk about you want to smack some people, them two people right there.
Yeah.
You might want to go have a conversation with them if it's for principle, because both of them, and one is white and one is black. So you can't say it's a color thing.
Right. Right.
But good
Wanda Sykes, Cheryl Underwood.
I know, I mean, but Cheryl was, she was calm. But if you didn't hear Corey Holcomb,
I heard him.
Oh my God! Like you would, if that wasn't like on the platform is on, you would have to bleep him every other word. Right. Yep. What he called that woman, but a child of God.
Why are people blaming Jada? I'm seeing a lot of that.
Oh,
well.
The other angle where she.
You go ahead.
Did y'all see the other angle when she was smiling when he came off the stage?
It was like when she sat in the chair.
So the reason that people are blaming Jada is because if you look at the footage, Will's laughing.
Yeah.
Joke. Will turns to look at Jada, and Jada's face changes. When Jada's face changed,
that's when he got mad.
Is when we see him approach the stage. But it wasn't until that moment when he turns and looks at her. So I guess that's where the blaming of Jada comes in.
But they showed another angle.
We talked about the situation over dinner last night, and I could really go in, but I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah, but even if she looked at him, he's a grown man, and he has to have restraint not to get up on stage and slap somebody.
So, well, listen. There was an angle that they showed from behind when he was on the stage, and an angle of her from behind. So that face that she made that had him go up there. Oh, once he was up there, you can see that she smiled and she was feeling what he did. From that back angle, it was like she like kind of clapped her hands, and you could see her smile. I'm just saying, my boyfriend and I had this conversation. I'm not gonna have my man act no fool. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
because I know he can go from 0 to 60, especially when it comes to me. But I want you to make it home. I want us to make it home. And 9 times out of 10, it ain't worth it. We can check somebody, but it ain't worth it. We got to go home.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to have my man out in the streets acting like a fool. And a lot of women feel like if a dude ain't acting like a fool, he don't love him.
Yeah.
He ain't out here fighting and arguing in regards to your virtue. He ain't a real man. I'm gonna tell you something. That ain't true. Don't deal with bras like that, because it's not true. I need my man to make it home, and so he don't be acting like no fool.
I want to ask Steven a question. So, based off of her persona out here in the world about healing and wellness, having red table talks and getting things out in the open, and making things right. with that being her persona, and then that situation happening, I would figure her to be the type of woman to have sensibility enough to say, hun, this is not the time or the place.
Right. Absolutely.
It was contradictory. It didn't go with the brand.
Well,
That's
even him doing that didn't go with his brand, because he's all about that same kind of substance. But I will say that this is why a lot of people think he'll be back, because this is his first offense, really. You know what I mean? We've never seen him act, wild out there acting crazy. So I think for me, and I didn't even read the apology until the one to the Academy until today, preparing for the show. But I wish he was doing more out loud to show that he's is sorry for what he did, because he did an Instagram post apologizing to Chris, and then this, but he hasn't really come out. Like someone was saying, I can't remember, that he should have, I think they were talking about it on the talk, he should have made a video apologizing to Chris. You know what I mean? Because the video, you can see your face, you can see it's not just words.
should have had a
That's PR.
Chris with an apology live streaming.
Yeah.
Right now, I think what this move is, this is his crisis management team.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, because what you don't want him to do is not say what you don't want him to say.
Right.
And be in his emotions. So they have to control this right now. They have to control this narrative right now. And as you see, Chris Rock ain't said nothing. He's started his tour.
Even on the tour.
He hasn't said anything. And I think there was a mention of, he said that he was still processing it right now. He just can't. And he got other things to think about, but he's still processing it, as someone. And D.L. Hughley put it so beautifully. D.L. Hughley said, Chris Rock is almost 60 years old. He's like, I'm 58 and Will Smith is 53. You smacked an almost 60-year-old Black man on national television.
Yeah.
And D.L. Hughley said, we all played our part, and we're all talking about Will and his mindset. He was like, who focused on Chris Rock and his mindset? Who went to comfort him? D.L. Hughley said they did everything but soak Will's hand when he smacked this man. And he was like, for me personally, I'm sorry for not giving the attention and support that Chris Rock needed, because he was the one who got smacked.
Right.
But everybody's talking about Will.
Mm-hmm. And did you see the video moments after he got slapped? His face expression when they went to commercial break.
He's like, what do you do? But what do you do?
Yeah.
But he went on with that show though. He went on. He did the
as a professional.
He went on, and after seeing, he put up. There was a clip of him from, I don't know how long ago it was, because he's in therapy and he talked about trauma. Mm-hmm. So all you did was let that man relive some form, because I guess he's been robbed before and stuff like that. And
that's what the last time that he got robbed was when he was working on Saturday Night Live. They jumped him and robbed him. Violence.
And in one of his shows, allegedly, someone screamed F Will Smith, and he told him to stop. He told the heckler to stop, not to do that. Yeah.
He's giving.
I just hate all this.
Giving him a lot of grace. I tell you that much.
Yeah. Someone said Mike Tyson is hosting next year.
That show gonna be like 6 hours then.
Right. Well, apparently it's lit. The House has officially passed the MORE Act, which would legalize marijuana nationwide. The best part of the bill is it eliminates criminal penalties for anyone who manufactures, distributes, or possesses the substance. According to CNN, the bill was sponsored by Democratic Representative Jerry Nayyir of New York. In addition to decriminalizing, it will prevent federal agencies from denying federal workers security clearances for cannabis use. The bill was passed with the vote of 220 to 204 and gained support from Republicans Tom McClintock of California, Brian Mast, and Matt Gaetz, both from Florida. However, Democrats Henry Kuehler of Texas and Chris Pappas of New Hampshire were amongst those who are against the bill. The MORE Act also is taking up, notch of to help veterans. A report showed that allowing Veteran Administration to recommend medical marijuana to veterans living with several issues, including post-traumatic stress disorder, is very helpful. In addition, it will support revenue by authorizing sales tax on marijuana sales. Most importantly, this bill will change lives by expunging the record of people convicted of non-violent cannabis offenses. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyle spoke out saying it can haunt people of color and impact the trajectory of their lives and careers indefinitely. It can result in difficulty finding employment, difficulty finding housing, and denial of access to federal benefits, denial of financial aid at colleges and universities, and denial of the right to vote. That's why they're doing this. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also shared remarks praising the legislation yesterday during her weekly news conference. She stated the legislation is consistent with what's happening in many states across the country. It also addresses the injustices of it because of the penalty it had before some of the decriminalization took place. So she said, so I'm all for it. Chike, what are your thoughts?
Yay. The whole bit on the criminality of it, to clear some records, saying to get some people out of jail. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. That's the part.
Yeah, I love that. Lynia?
You know, I agree with what Chike said. You know, this is, we have so many Black people, you know, in jail for such minor offenses. Like, you know, they got these people in jail for months and years for a little bit of weed, when now y'all trying to capitalize off of it. So, now we gotta make some changes because it's always about the money. This ain't about the people. This is about the money.
Yep.
The money that they can make. Oh, well, we do it this way. You know how we can capitalize off of this? But you gotta, you know, we gotta give them a little bit in order for it to make it sound right.
Right.
Get the people out of jail. How about that?
And people, they're gonna smoke the weed regardless. You might as well legalize it. But also, what was my point? Oh, I lost my point. But people gonna smoke their weed, and like you said, it is about the money. At a point, I can't think what it was. But I was saying that people, you know, you're talking about people that are in jail for small offenses like this. A lot of times they're stuck in jail because they can't afford the bail money.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so this hopefully will help reduce that. But smoke responsibly. Lynia, thank you as always for hot topics. Chike, I will see you in movie reviews. And we come back, our interview with the one and only Eric Roberson. Right back after this.